Axel, Axel, Axel.
Leo, Leo, Leo.
You know, Axel, that's my little Polish cupcake. And she's very sensitive, like the Eastern European people are. But she's very nice, right?
Very nice, Leo.
And you know how old she is.
Yeah, she's young.
You're damn right. And that's success. And in order to achieve that success, you need to sell cars.
I don't want to sell cars.
Axel, do you realize my father had the first Cadillac dealership in Arizona in 1914? And he had this magnificent dream to sell as many cars as he possibly could and stack them one on top of the other until they got high enough so that he could walk up to the moon. Isn't that beautiful?
It's very beautiful, Leo, but the cars would topple over before you could stack them that high.
Yeah, that's what I told him, but he wanted me in the business. And I resisted him like you're resisting me.
I'm not resisting, Leo. I don't want to sell cars.
What the hell are you afraid of?
I'm not afraid of anything. One thing I was sure of, my Uncle Leo was definitely the hero of my childhood. The smell of his Old Spice cologne carried me back into that lost childhood more than the whole movies did. My uncle didn't know it, but it was the sweet, cheap smell of car dealers that took me back and made me dissolve into a dream of the past. Leo was the last dinosaur that smelled of cheap cologne, and he believed in the American dream. I was crazy about him because he believed in miracles, and even though he lived inside of life and sold Cadillacs, he always looked like a 10-year-old boy whose sleeves were too long. When I was 10, Leo gave me this great movie camera, and my mother always hoped I'd become the next Milton Berle. But dreams about houses and cars and fresh-cut lawns aren't dreams when they become real. And somehow, I understood what my mother meant by Good Morning Columbus. And even if my mother didn't like what I was doing with my life, I think she'd understand me. When I was 11, I got this really weird earache that wouldn't go away. I went to about 100 doctors, but none of them could help me. So what Leo did was, he went into Mexico and brought back this fat lady witch doctor who did some mumbo-jumbo and fixed me right up. I was grateful, but somehow I thought I might have been better off mute. All in all, I had a very happy childhood. My father was a border guard who spent most of his life trying to keep people from crossing lines. Every night for 15 years, he'd go out and smooth down the road between Mexico and Arizona. And every morning, he'd be out there looking for footprints in the dirt. But my father always said that work was like a hat you put on your head. And even if you didn't have pants, you didn't have to walk down the street ashamed of your ass, as long as you had a hat. One of the other things I was sure about in my life was, the moment my parents died, my childhood was gone forever. Leo could never shake the guilt of my parents' death 6 years ago. Leo was driving the car that night. It got so bad that he even felt guilty if he used too much shaving cream. 4 days after the funeral, I caught a train to New York City. And if somebody was to ask me why I don't get up right now and catch the next train back to New York, it's because you can't say no to your childhood hero. I decided to be his best man, but one thing I was sure of. No matter how much I loved the smell of cheap cologne, I was never going to become my own.
What a wonderful memory.
And I was never going to sell Cadillacs.
Axel, if I died tomorrow, where would you be?
You're not going to die tomorrow, Leo.
Who knows when I'll die?